Good evening and welcome to the Point Fire and Sites Fire virtual community meeting for Friday, June 21st, 2024. My name is Jazz Shaw. I'm an information officer for Calfire Incident Management Team 4. First, I would like to give you some updated numbers on acreage and containment. The Point Fire is currently at 1,207 acres with 80% containment. We have 400 personnel assigned to the Point Fire. For the Sites Fire, we are currently at 19,195 acres with 30% containment. We have 2,205 personnel currently assigned to the Sites Fire. Next you'll be hearing from our subject matter experts who will be sharing information on weather, fire behavior, and current fire suppression efforts. If our viewers have additional questions that are not answered during the presentations, please submit your questions in the comments section so that they may be addressed at the conclusion of the presentations. To provide you with the update, we will start with weather.
Good evening, I'm Mike Seaman. I'm the incident meteorologist assigned to these two incidents. I'm first going to talk about the weather over on the Point Fire. We've had onshore flow over the last couple of days that has allowed some higher humidity and somewhat lower temperatures to spread across the area. We've had this marine layer that brought some areas of stratus and fog early this morning that kept our humidity up around 100%. This afternoon we saw humidities get down into the 30 to 40% range, which is not very conducive for fire growth. We've also seen some fairly light winds across the area. They're mainly being driven by what we call terrain flow. Is basically as we heat the air mass, the wind kind of goes up the slopes and up the drainages and then back down at night. So that's basically what we've been seeing over here on the Point Fire. We expect that to continue through the weekend. We will be above normal in terms of temperatures, touching 90 degrees tomorrow and again on Sunday. But in terms of the elevated humidity and the light winds, that's not much of a concern from a fire weather perspective. Over on the sites incident, we have a much warmer and drier air mass in place. Today we saw temperatures in the upper 90s, even hit 101 just west of the fire area. We've seen humidity values in the teens to low 20s during the daytime, and we're seeing the overnight recovery only get into the 40 to 50% range. The last couple of days we've seen some light southeasterly flow across the area. That's mainly been flowing up through some of the drainages across the fire. As we get into tomorrow, we first off have a heat advisory in effect for the area, so we're going to see another hot day with temperatures near 100 degrees on the fire. We're going to see those humidity values drop into the upper teens to low 20s again by early afternoon. The one thing that's going to be different tomorrow is we start to lift the inversion that sets up over the fire every night. We're going to start to mix down some stronger southerly winds. They're not going to be particularly strong, just a little bit elevated. Sustained winds of 10 to 15, gusts in the 20 to 25 mile an hour range, starting about 14 to 1500 hours, so about 2 to 3 p.m., lasting into the late afternoon and early evening. So that's the biggest difference tomorrow from the weather perspective is the increase in south winds. We'll see those winds again on Sunday with the very warm temperatures and low humidity. That's a wrap for fire weather. Please stand by for fire behavior.
Good evening, I'm Ross Dollar-Hyde, Fire Behavior Analyst with Incident Management Team 4. I'm briefly going to start on the Point Fire, where the conditions for the fuels in the fire have remained fairly static over the last operational period, and we don't anticipate any fire behavior to occur on that incident in the next 24-hour period. So moving on to the Sites Fire, the only active portion of this fire currently is up in the northernmost area of the fire, where we continue to see some burning pockets burn out on the interior. Now with the accelerated winds and the increased temperature, we anticipate that we'll continue to see those interior pockets burn out, but we're sitting in a really good position as the control lines immediately on the fire's edge has consumed pretty well over the last couple days when we had those advantageous weather conditions to get in there and perform suppression efforts. So it may continue to put up a little bit of smoke tomorrow, but we don't anticipate any fire activity that will threaten the line. Thank you.
Good evening, Robert Wetstein, Operations Section Chief, Calfire Incident Management Team 4. With your current situation, we'll start here with the Point incident. The Point incident, crews are working interior, gridding well interior, trying to get 100% mop up. They'll be continuing to work for the next 3 days. We'll come over here to the sites incident. In the northern section is the most active area. It's got the most amount of smokes and heat because it was the last area to burn. So crews are working interior. They're working on 100% mop up in there. As we come down towards the eastern side of the fire, fire suppression repair is continuous. So we have a lot of heavy equipment in there working on repairing some dozer line and hand line as well. On the southern end, PG&E was entered in today. They've turned on restored power to the whole section on the southern end of the incident. As we go to the eastern side of the incident, crews are still working interior, working towards that 100% mop up. And also to the north end of the incident, we have a completed fire suppression repair on the north side.
Good evening. I'm Mike Marcucci. I'm the unit chief here for the Sonoma-Lake-Napa unit of Calfire. And I wanted to tell you that I was able to spend the day out on the SES Fire, touring the fire itself, speaking with some of the 2,600 plus firefighters that are on the lines, working to contain that fire and working very hard. I wanted to reassure you that they are already working at least 300 feet in, looking for hot spots, and with a little bit of a wind that's coming across it, that's doing a great job of wind testing it to ensure that those hot spots are being extinguished. As you've heard, our weather is going to significantly warm up. So we did want to make sure that the community, not only in the Sonoma-Lake-Napa unit, but also counties, but also Yolo, Solano, and Colusa, are limiting their outdoor activity over the weekend, as it will be over 100 degrees. We are concerned about your health and make sure that you're staying hydrated. And we would also ask that you stay vigilant in your use of fire outdoors with barbecues or fire pits or anything along those lines, that you're being extra vigilant with that so we can contain or eliminate any additional fires. And have a good evening. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Andy Turner. I am the Deputy Incident Commander for Calfire IMT-4. I wanted to emphasize the fact that under the direction of the Calfire Sonoma-Lake-Napa unit, this team is deployed into the area to work for you, the communities of in Sonoma County and Colusa County. And so up to this point, I hope that you've been happy with the service we've been trying to provide. Our priority is to get your communities back to a state of normalcy. We'd like to get these two fires closed out. Our team is deployed from all over the state, and we really want to get them back home. Over the next 24 hours, this incident command team is going to be focused on the increase in heat with the weather and increased winds tomorrow. We're going to focus not only on these two fires, but we're going to remain flexible. And what that means is, with all these extra fire engines and firefighters you have in your communities working on these two fires, we're going to make sure that we have a bit of availability. So if any new fires start in the area, we're able to flex and divert and go jump on those as well. So in closing, I want to thank you. If you've been following along with us this week, thank you for your attendance. Thank you for engaging, and thank you for your questions. And that's all I have.
Thank you to our presenters. That concludes the presentation portion of our meeting, and we do not have any questions from our viewers, so we will conclude our meeting for this evening. I did want to notify our viewers that we will not be having any additional virtual community meetings for the Point or the SES Fire. Tonight will be our last virtual meeting. I want to assure you that we will continue to provide updates on our social media pages, so please be sure to follow us at our CAL FIRE web pages at fire.ca.gov. Again, our CAL FIRE webpage is fire.ca.gov. Also, please follow the CAL FIRE Sonoma-Lake-Napa units, Facebook, and Threads. This concludes our meeting, and thank you very much.